Hello everyone, it's be a good video here. We got a question from one of my students in the trade room, and it is regarding how I calculate my profit whenever I'm doing a back test using TradingView. We see this tool here, right? As an example, there's the tool that I use, and then I can set my stop loss to where it should be, and then my take profit. And what happens is that I've had people on YouTube as well say that I'm not doing it correctly, because clearly I can't know that I'm ending the trade there, which is true. There's no way that I'm ending the trade right at that point. Maybe there's a way, but the chances of that are very, very low, especially when I'm using a trailing stop on my second trade. So this video is going to just clear up how I make these calculations. So here we go. Let's move forward until we see a trade opportunity. We're just about crossing the line. There's our crossing. We've got, isn't that interesting? We got this beautiful surge upwards. Let's just go one candle back. Got this surge upwards, but there's no strength in the bears at this moment, or bulls rather, and no strength in the bears, so we don't take the trade, obviously. Plus, we've crossed against the leading edge of the cloud, and so we're not going to take it as a result of that anyways. This here is a crossing below 75394, 75387. So no, it is still above, and now we're still above, clearly testing the line here. So now we've got a crossing below. Strength is everywhere we need it to be, so we're going to take the trade. So strength is there. We got volatility. Yeah, okay, cool. 236. So again, this is how I set up this tool. So 236 is my ATR. So that means I got to get my calculator here. 237. There it is. 237 times 1.5. That's my stop loss. So 355, and I just round it up. So 356, but I have to include my spread. Now with my broker, I don't know, but I'm just going to use the TradingView spread here, which is an additional 3.1 pips. Seems a little high. So that means it's going to be 387. What just happened there? 387 for stop loss. And I'm taking my ATR and I'm multiplying it by 2. So that is 236 times 2. So 472 plus my spread, which is 3. So that'd be 472. So that actually means I'm going to be going 504. Let's go 504. And that's great because we have the ratio of 1.3, which makes sense. That's my take profit 1. Now remember, I'm always taking 2 trades, and my second trade is a trailing stop of ATR times 1.5. So that is, I have to take that into consideration as we move forward. Now, remember, I have 2 trades, and they're both risking 1.5%, so I have to use that math when we're going forward. So the trade goes up, and now we've actually had a reversal here. So we're going to close that trade, and that's a loss. And this is great. Actually, you get to see what a loss looks like and how we calculate that. So as you can see, it would be normally 387 would be my loss, but I actually only lost 137 because I'm closing this early. We've got strength in the bulls. We're crossed above my lines, both my lines, both the smooth moving average and the leading edge of the cloud. So this is a full-on stop the trade. So what I do is that I divide 137 I go 137 divided by 387. So 137 divided by 387. That is my ratio of my loss, but I'm losing, but my full risk was 3%. So I'm going 0.35, so on and so forth. Excuse me, wow. Times 3%. So I'm actually losing 1.06% on this trade. So I go back into here, 1.06%. So how do I do that? I take this number here, the 137, and I divide it by 387. Because I only lost this, but I could have lost, my full 3% would have been 387. So I didn't make it that far. That's a 106% loss. Okay, so now, because I've got an indication to actually take a buy, we're gonna go ahead and do a reversal on this one. 225 now is my ATR. 225 times 1.5 plus, we're gonna go 33. That is 370.5, so we round that up, 371. And on the other side, oh my God, I always forget the number, 225. 225 times 2 plus my 33 is 483. So there we have it. And now we play this trade out. Oop. There we go. And we're into the negative there, but we're okay because we're still inside the cloud. I don't make any choices while I'm inside the cloud. And we just got some consolidation. That's all this is here, clearly. And boom, there we go. Wow, that's nice. And so I'm thinking, let me just see here. So here's 371. So I'm just going to quickly use a measurement here, 371. Yeah, so this would have taken out my trailing stop, because remember my trailing stop is at my ATR times 1.5. So what I do is that I actually extend this up to the top. I know that it's, people think, well, you're not going to get the top of that candle, but watch what happens, how I do the math. I already know that I have the first trade under my belt. So I'm gonna do this long form. My first trade is the 1.5%, right? Take profit 1. My take profit 2 is the whole trade minus my trailing stop, right? The whole thing, all the way up to that new high, minus ATR times 1.5. So that just means I need to take away, this ratio here is 4.7. With my trailing stop, it would actually be 3.7, because 1-to-1 would be if I got 37.1 pips, right? So if I'm not getting the top, my trailing stop equals 1 unit of this ratio. So that's a 3.7. So what I do is I take 3.7 times my 1.5%. That's a 5.5%. 5.55% on the second trade. So that's how I do it. I don't worry about, getting exactly down to that, 371 pips lower. I just bring it to the top. It's easier to calculate, and then I take away the 1 on that ratio. And honestly, like, if you wanted to do 1-to-1 on your trade, on your first trade, that makes it even easier. That's what I used to do. I used to go 1-to-1 on take profit 1, just because the market wasn't moving as much. But lately we've been seeing more volatility, more volume, and so I've actually increased my take profit 1 to 2.0 times my ATR. So it makes the math a little bit different. But you've seen me in past videos. I'm just like, bring this right up to the top, and then I calculate that that's my trade, 4.7. But I'm making that a multiplication of 1.5%. because my first trade took profit at 1-to-1 ratio, means that even though my second trade closed here, I actually caught the entire swing. Pretty cool, eh? So you're right, I am not going to be able to get that, but I am going to be able to get the equivalent of that full swing of trade if I'm risking 1.5%. So I hope that helps answer the questions. Answer this question regarding how I calculate my my profit and my loss when I'm back testing. But there it is. Have a good day.